Hello, we are Nikki and John, aka Starseed and JB, and we are here today to talk about the divine mirror, which can be a rather confusing topic for some people. This is basically what it says is that everything you see outside of yourself and others is actually a reflection of you. And what you're seeing is not just a reflection of yourself, but a manifestation of your energies. So even if you're parading as a loving, peaceful person, but you're receiving drama back, that there's some sort of drama inside, for instance, that's one example.
Yeah, and it could be something that you're currently doing and not willing to see in yourself. It could be something that you've done in the past and haven't forgiven in yourself. Or it could actually just be something unforgiven in you. Perhaps you've been the receiver of some type of abuse, but having not forgiven it, and that energy of rejecting and loathing is actually attracting it into your experience. So there's always an in.
Which is a nudge from spirit to get to the part where you actually forgive and heal that wound. So if it's reappearing over and over again, it's literally a message from the divine telling you, hey, it's time to take a look at this because it's showing up again. So in regards to twin flames, this can be confusing sometimes because it's not always a direct reflection. And I'll give you an example. If you know in your heart that someone is your twin, for instance, and like I've said in my story with John in the past, he was telling me things that I knew to be inauthentic because he was the other half of my soul. Of course, he would love me and be attracted to me. But when he would say things like that, although I could just excuse it away and blame it on him and just say, oh, he's just unenlightened or not awake, which is one of the things that we find very common is the one claiming that the supposed runner is just not spiritually enlightened. But consider for a moment that they are the more enlightened one, and they're actually doing exactly what they need to show you yourself. No. That is the whole point of your twin. The inauthenticity that I saw in John was actually the inauthenticity in myself, because I didn't find love for myself yet, at least not to the extent that I should have. And I certainly was carrying a lot of self-esteem issues and issues with my believing that I wasn't quite worthy yet and so forth.
And so the other idea is whether the other person is actually more enlightened or not. Those who are less enlightened are very useful tools for spirit, and spirit can influence them to say certain words or say things a certain way, literally as a trigger. So the thing is this, we know that the enlightened ones, Jesus, Buddha, any of these folks that we speak of would have received anyone and everyone with love, right? So if we're not receiving everyone and everything with love, we know we're not enlightened yet. And if we know we're not enlightened yet, well, then we know that everything coming at us is God trying to show us, trying to teach us.
Or the universe, spirit, creator, whatever you wish to call it, whatever higher power or force you believe in. So again, let's talk about things like addiction. Okay, this comes up frequently in sessions that we have with twin flames coming to us for counsel. And whether they're in a physical relationship with their twin or the twin is running, they'll oftentimes complain about, well, it's their fault for being addicted. It could be alcoholism or drug abuse or something like that. Inevitably, there is also some addiction on the other side of the mirror that is being reflected back to you. And there are many, 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 many kinds of addictions this day and age that people don't wish to acknowledge as addictions. There is addiction to consumerism. There is addiction to television, and distractions is one of the biggest addictions today. This is why recently when a friend was talking to us about how we could better market ourselves, she was talking about 7-second messages. And I'm like, that's really sad that people only have a 7-second attention span. back in the day when I first started working in internet marketing and so forth, before I started getting involved in my spiritual journey, one of the things I learned was that it was a 30-second attention span, and that was why commercials were 30 seconds, and now they're cut down to 15 seconds, and now they're cut down to 7 seconds, because our attention span is getting shorter. And so this addiction to distractions, everything from the music to the media to the gossip to to your Facebook news feed and even YouTube. Ironic, huh? And we're on YouTube and Facebook. But the truth is that you're distracting yourself from something inside, just like their addiction is numbing them from something inside that they're not wanting to look at.
And another angle to look at this from is that whether you can, if you have a partner or a mirror who is an addict and you can't find any reflection on that, and you're just certain that it's all them and they just won't seem to heal, well, then you're addicted to thinking negatively of others. You're addicted to not trusting. You're addicted to fear.
And again, this is the whole thing. There are many types of addictions. So it could be shopping. It could be sadness. It could be, like John said, negative thinking, judging, seeking what is imperfect in others. And again, that's just being reflected back to you by them. Now, one of the other topics that we have heard a lot of is their twin cheating or not settling down with them, staying in other relationships and so forth. And this is an interesting topic because it tends to show up a lot in what we call 3D relationships or real world, whatever you want to call it,
old
relationships, old template relationships, old paradigm. And here's the thing, again, this is a reflection of something in you. When you find yourself in looking in the divine mirror with your twin flame or any other high soulmate for that matter, and you're seeing cheating and
lack of commitment.
Lack of commitment, that's the word I was looking for. Again, this is pointing to two things: lack of commitment on your part and inauthenticity that still exists within you. The inauthenticity is what is almost always being pointed back to you, because not just is it about your fears manifesting, what fears you're holding on to, what expectations you have of others in relationships manifesting into your experience. But again, it is always showing you something about yourself. And that lack of commitment is when we go back and forth between our faith in the inevitability of our union. And this is the truth. The truth is that you cannot have your union if you don't believe in your union. You can't, and we see these some relationships, like a friend and client of ours, who he gets so close and then he runs away, and then he gets so close and he runs away. And all the while, she's sitting there constantly going, well, I don't know, and I'm not sure, and how is this going to work? And it's never worked before. The truth of the matter is it's because it's a lack of faith. And when you know in your heart that this has come to me for a reason because of who and what we are to each other, so therefore it is inevitable that our physical union in this lifetime, regardless of anything else that's going on that I see right now, it's going to get better, and that is inevitable. It is a promise, a divine promise, a guarantee. So when you can hold faith that even though it's not there now, but it is coming, that's the commitment that you need to have so that you can see things dissolving in the mirror that are showing you a lack of commitment on their part.
And relates to a concept, if anyone's familiar with the 4 agreements. One of the agreements is to not take anything personally. And this is the beginning step. We have to learn to not take anything personally so that we can set down our reactions and our controls and our running and avoidance and all of that. But the second that we've been able to do that, now it's time to flip that around and take everything personally. Because at the same time as we can know, okay, this is not the highest expression, this is not yet the fulfillment of my dreams or desires, but I still believe in them. Now, instead of just sitting and waiting, we can see any place that my desires are being withheld from me is the universe, God, Spirit, trying to show me something that is expected of me or needed to change in me before I can have it.
Which is usually a block in you that's keeping you from receiving your desire. We're so quick to point the finger outside of ourselves and say, I'm not getting this because of something outside of us. And we are just as guilty of that. That is something we have been working on.
No, we're probably worse. Or at least were.
We've been working on this for a long time in other areas of our life. With each other, it's pretty much gotten to the point where we ask once for what we want, and there's almost this like sort of giggle if we don't get it right away. Like, whatever, I know it's coming. Like, I know I'm getting that foot rub, or with him, I know I'm getting your full attention away from everybody. The time will come, and it's just like we don't really have to pitch a fit about like, why am I not getting this, or you need to do this, or you need to do that. It's okay to ask for your desires, but just have faith in them. And that's where again, going full circle, this is where the commitment comes in. Your twin cannot commit to you, even if they were standing right there in front of you saying, marry me. You're not going to see commitment in them if you're not truly fully committed in your heart.
Committed to the union, committed to your faith in the good things coming.
And the mission.
And that's the whole point. There's always something lacking when we hear from anybody that, oh, my twin is doing this, my twin is doing that, they're running, they're doing that. There's always at least one place that Spirit has been knocking that you've been ignoring. And the thing about that is the mirror intensifies. This is the time period that we're all in where it seems like everything's accelerating, is because it is. And so, the mirror accelerates and gives you more and more drastic over reflections.
Louder and rowdier messengers.
Until you get the message. And so whatever the message is, and it's different for everybody, and it's different at different points in time. We all go through learning in stages. But the idea is that everything that's happening in your experience absolutely is about you.
And so this point that we keep going to about authenticity, it's really important to ask yourself how authentic you're being. And when I say authentic, I mean how you're expressing yourself, how you're acting, how you're feeling, and so forth. Now, there has to be some balance in our lives, because constant states of bliss or constant states of stress affect the body the same. So we're not always going to feel bliss, which is something that almost nobody has achieved. There's very few people that have actually reached a state of Zen. But sadness and anxiety and fear, those are places we're really familiar with. We have to have a balance point of contentment. And so with that, there's only so much that we can give ourselves. And then the lie that has been told is that we have to complete ourselves. This is a lie, because we are interdependent creatures. Ask any anthropologist, look into psychology. Nobody that really, knows what they're talking about and is really helping you is going to tell you to close off. Okay? So you have to come to a place where you're willing to accept your interdependence on others, and asking for what you need or what you desire that you're unable to do for yourself is okay. Becoming addicted to that, or putting it all on one person, expecting all of your love, all of your fellowship, all of your support, all of the listening you wish to receive from talking, all of the conversation, all of the anything really from anybody, almost anything, is the wrong kind of codependent. Because we'll be talking about later about the difference between healthy codependence and unhealthy codependence when it comes to the twin flame union. That'll be a video for a later date. But interdependence is necessary for unity consciousness. So again, when you're not getting what you need from your twin, what are you not giving to yourself? What are you not willing to commit to authentically? Because they can't express their authentic love for you if you're not being authentic in your expressions of love for yourself.
When we say they can't, we literally mean what we've experienced and seen many others experience is in a supernatural way. Okay,
Yes.
They are being blocked. It's like their higher expressions are locked in a prison, and what's coming out is just the divine using them as a teacher. And this just gets more and more frustrating until you accept the fact. Once you accept the fact and you can start seeing it, this becomes a dance and a game of learning. And you realize for everything I do, even just in my vibe, there is an external reaction from the universe. Now, the ones who think that they can just go meditate in a cave and create world peace, you're not even creating peace within yourself. That's the truth. Now, we need to learn how to, whether it's through meditation or through our own willpower, however we do it, we need to learn how to handle ourselves and our own energy and how to not grab at everyone else or anyone else to get what we need. But the truth is, when we get ourselves to that place, do you know what we know? We know what we remember? I wish I had my friends. I could have more joy than I have inside of me by having joy that's shared with others. So we all emanated out from Source. We're all coming back in together. And that coming together is that interdependency that, meditation can't provide. Now, truth be told, hanging out with your friends all day can't provide the meditative inner peace. So it's about a balance of being outward in our expression and inward in our reflection.
Yes, and these authentic expressions, ask yourself about your job. Ask yourself about your living habits, your eating habits. Ask yourself about the way you present yourself to the world, how authentic you're being in the way you carry and present yourself and the ways you communicate. Because, again, one of the most common examples I can think of that is an inauthentic expression is saying, "How are you doing? You're good? Okay, bye." Okay, that's inauthentic. What is the point of asking someone how they're doing if you're not willing to really stop and listen to how they are doing or how they are today? Okay, now, if you don't want to listen, hope you're having a great day. That's really simple. That's I don't want to listen to your story, but I'm wishing you good things. On the other end is when somebody genuinely does call or visit you and say, "How are you doing?" runs into you, whatever, and you're just like, "I'm fine," and you're not, okay? These are the little tiny ways our inauthenticity is coming out, and we need to get to a place of being more authentic and being willing to express authentically, speaking, living, working, eating authentically.
And being authentic isn't about, going, well, I'm going to go the other way and not just say fine, and I'm going to tell you every awful thing that's ever happened to me. When that's not an authentic expression either. So it's about getting to an authentic place inside of ourselves where we can say, you know what? I've had worse days, but man, I'm really stressed or I'm really struggling. And if you're not open to share that with somebody, it would almost be more authentic to say, I don't want to talk to you about that. That would be authentic. Now, that would also be closing off and avoiding an opportunity to reflect in a mirror.
So again, that's where the balance comes in. Not having the best day, but I'm glad to see you. How are you doing? Okay, and again, we're getting really detailed in things that we don't need to, and are more general. But this is an entire subject that we actually work with people in our coaching. Is authentic expression. But again, asking yourself, is insurance sales what the universe has worked billions of years to bring you here for today? Is, for instance, what's another example?
Is your 1 week vacation a year the reason to work at a job you don't like? Or a decent paycheck, is that a reason to...
Any job that you don't like is an inauthentic means.
Right. But and a lot of people put this big pride in the vacation or in what it gets them, right? But the thing is, that's also inauthentic.
Mm-hmm.
They don't feel good. This is why we have a consumerist society of people who are constantly trying to make more money, constantly trying to buy more stuff, because we're trying to feel better. And to be authentic. I want you all to say this right now. I am not as happy as I could be, because the truth is, I know everyone watching this, I absolutely know it's true.
And the bottom line is, none of us can be. Even the most enlightened people on the planet get to a point where they have to realize that no matter how happy they are with their expression, no matter how happy they are with what's being reflected back to them, the truth of the matter is, once you're so enlightened that your heart is open and you're living authentically and expressing authentically, you still look around and see the reflection of war and starvation and so forth, and you have to say, like John was talking about earlier, this would be better with my friends here. So
It'd be better if everyone was happy. That's the
yeah.
truth. Once we find our own inner peace and our own inner joy, what we really truly desire is to see a mirror of others that are also happy and in their joy. And so the bottom line with the mirror is this: if you can see how they're behaving, someone you know is bonded to you, whether they're a family member, your twin flame, a soulmate, a friend, your sister, your brother.
Yeah, because your twin flame is only the ultimate mirror. Yes. There are many mirrors that you're reflecting in at any given point in time.
But if you can see that anything in the way they're treating you is truly not loving, truly not the way that you want to be treated, then what they are doing is being inauthentic. And if they are being inauthentic, it's because you're inviting it somehow into your experience with your own inauthenticity. So to be able to see that and to know everyone coming to me is my messenger, everything coming is either love or a call for love. So if what you're receiving isn't love, it's a call for love. And unless you are clearly defined in that moment as the healer and someone's wanting you for healing, then you're not the teacher, you're the student. And if you're the student, that means whatever lesson, whatever message is coming through was sent by the divine for you.
Okay, so this wraps up our brief introduction of the divine mirror and how to reflect in it. And for anybody wishing or seeking assistance in our spiritual counseling and transformational coaching, we work on a donation basis, so you can contact us to dive into this further and find out ways you can find what the reflection is. We can help you to explore that, and it's never a matter of just our diagnosis, but helping you journey within to find the truth. And so you can visit our website, vowofservice.com, to see what mission we are on as Twin Flames in Union, and what we do when we're not making videos or on coaching or counseling sessions. And you can find our Twin Flame group on Facebook, which is Twin Flames 144,000 for the unity of the one tribe. And we will include links below and a quick thank you to dynamis.co.uk for making sure that we had the technology we needed to be able to do this today.
And I want to finish off with a good word. I want to invite everyone to ask God's source, whatever name you use for the divine, to come into our experience, to show ourselves in the mirror, to let us see ourselves, that we may grow and become more like the free children of the divine that we were made to be.
And to heal.
And to heal, and to heal each other. And I want to thank the divinity and spirit and all of the guides and helpers for everything that's gotten you where you are and us where we are.
And just know, the more love you become, the more healed you become, the more loving and healed the expressions in the mirror are going to become. So the work is worth it. And we do have ways we can help you with that to accelerate the process of figuring it out and just having someone hold your hand.
If you're stuck and angry at the mirrors you've been looking in, we're happy to be your mirror for a moment too. And when you're conscious of this mirroring process, you'll notice there's an energetic invitation to you to mirror back to others what they're doing. You don't have to choose this.
You'll start to see how you've done it.
If you're unconscious, okay, it's going to happen and you're being the mirror for them. When you become conscious and aware of this fact, now you're the observer and you're going, what is going on? And I can actually watch and learn and observe now. I don't have to react here.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. All right. So that's it for today. And we look forward to doing more videos for you soon and connecting with those of you who wish to connect with us. We are always here to answer questions or help you along the path. And yeah, take a look at the links below and we'll connect with you soon.
Blessed be. Aho, amun, amen. Give me a kiss.
Love.